Hey, this is Mike, and I have a question for you today. How many here want to be like a PEZ dispenser? I know I do. Well, if you're watching this and you're looking at this, you're probably wondering, what am I doing with all these PEZ dispensers? Actually, what you're looking at here is a small portion of all the PEZ dispensers that we have. It started over 30 years ago, bringing home a PEZ dispenser, giving it to one of our kids as a prize. And after doing that a few times, those 2 or 3 PEZ dispensers turned into a shoebox full. And then that shoebox full turned into a tote, and then it turned into several totes. And through the years, if we saw one we didn't have, we thought, hey, let's get one to add to our collection. And it wasn't intentional, but 30 some years later, here we are. But they are kind of neat, and they are kind of cool, and I love giving them away to kids when we're doing kids crusades and things like that, and camps. But I was looking at these the other day, and the thought came to mind is that, I want to be like one of these. Because think about it for a moment. When they open their mouth, something good is coming out. And what a lesson that would be for all of us to realize and to think and stop for a minute. When we open our mouth, what's coming out? Are the words that come out of our mouth edifying? Are they encouraging? Are they helpful? If you're like me, and sometimes we've been around people that they love to criticize. They love to be critical, and a little bit of sarcasm can really go a long way. And I kind of feel sorry for some people because it's like they never have anything positive to say about anything. And I say, Lord, just give them a double dose of your spirit. But as I was thinking about this, there's a Bible story that came to mind. We can read about it in the book of Matthew. It's also in the book of Mark chapter 7. Jesus is sitting down with his disciples, and they sat down to bread, and they start eating this bread. Some of the Pharisees there just couldn't understand what Jesus and the disciples were doing. They thought, these people are eating bread and they didn't even wash their hands. Now, these people had ceremonies of just how to wash the hand and which arm to do first and how everything's supposed to go together, and then you have to wash the bowl, and it was like a ceremony. But they made this up somehow to make them somehow seem a little more pious. I'm not sure. But when Jesus and the disciples sat down and just started eating with unwashed hands, these people thought, oh no, they've defiled themselves. Jesus, knowing what was in their heart, he turns to them and he says this, you know what? It's not what goes into a person that can defile them. It's what comes out. We can read about it in Mark chapter 7, I think verse number 11. It says, Jesus said, what comes out of a man, that defiles a man. For from within, out of the heart of man, proceeds evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lewdness, evil, blasphemy, pride, and foolishness. You see, those are the things that are seated in our hearts, and we allow them to take occupancy in our mind. And if it's in your heart, if it's in your mind, how many know it's going to come out of our mouth? Jesus said, all these evil things come from within, and that's what will defile a person. As I was looking at that and I was thinking about that, I thought, Lord, give us a heart that's pure, so that when we open our mouth, what comes out is actually going to be what is inside. I want my words to be words that encourage and edify and to build up. And we need that. But you know what else? I also need people that love us enough confront and to stand up and bring those hard questions to us. And even the Bible says if you have a brother and you see him going off the wrong way, you have an obligation to go to them and to confront them, not so you can beat them up or somehow show yourself superior to them, but if you love people, you'll love them enough to confront. And that's not being evil or mean or critical. That's just loving enough to care. I want my words to be full of love and joy and peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Those are biblical terms because you know what? When we begin to operate and our words fulfill that, we're acting like Jesus. How many here would say, I want to be more like Jesus every single day? Let's ask Jesus to fill us with his love, his power, and his grace, so that when we open our mouth, we're going to let something good come out. Oh, these are good. Hey, who's with me? Now all I have to do is figure out what I'm going to do with all these PEZ dispensers. But hey, until next time, let the words of our lips, the meditation of our heart, give praise, honor, and glory to the King of Kings. Let's do it.